Hello peoples, popples, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Fiction&Flora, you can call me Flora, and today we are talking about some January releases that I'm excited about. Honestly, I meant to get this out earlier in the month, but after recording it 3-4 times and deleting it because I wasn't happy, I just didn't. I missed the first release date, but we're trying again. I'm trying to stopping. So I will just tell you about the one that's already passed and we'll go from there. But before we get started, I do want to remind you to not stop talking about Palestine. I know it's really easy when you're in the West or any other like nation that is actively horrible towards others, to just allow yourself to become complacent and ignore these things because it doesn't directly affect you, even though you do reap the benefits of those actions, and you do. We're all a part of the problem, whether we want to be or not, just because every time we work, our money is going towards this horrible thing. But don't let yourself be discouraged, and don't let yourself become numb to the world. Don't stop talking about Palestine. Do not stop talking about Sudan. Do not stop talking about Congo. Don't stop talking about it. We might not be able, many of us can't do anything directly. We don't have the power to do so. However, what we can do is make sure it is never done in silence. We can make sure that we do not become a part of history that helps erase another. So that's all I will say on this subject. You'll see in the description box I put a few links below. I have the BDS movement as well as 2 links for donation or support towards Congo and Sudan. So please take a chance to look through those. One of them is a news article that has multiple links within it. I didn't want to go so far as to link a bunch of different donation links that I could not verify. I don't know how to identify a legitimate donation source, so I'm hoping that since it's a news source and it's Al Jazeera, which is a news source that I actually trust, that any links that they provide you is something that you can trust. That is what I will say to start this off. We are moving into a new year, but let's not backslide, y'all. Let's not do that. Also, if you live in the US, book banning, you know what's happening. Do your best to not let these people get away with this, because it's actually terrifying. Did you hear that some Florida schools have banned the thesaurus and dictionaries? Oh boy, this is that's a lot, isn't it? Anyway, got my computer out. We're gonna just read off the list. I'll read the descriptions of them. So here's hoping I don't stutter too much. No matter what, this is going up because I can't keep deleting all these videos that I record. So starting with the first one that came out last Tuesday, January 9th, Lunar New Year Love Story by Jean Lynn Young. And this is a YA romance graphic novel. This description goes as such: Valentina Tran was named after Valentine's Day, which used to be her favorite holiday. But when Val learns the truth behind what happened with her parents and why she was being raised by a single father, she realizes true love is a lie. This is reinforced when she meets the spirit of Saint Valentine, who tells her she and her family are cursed to always be unlucky in love. Val is ready to give into her fate until one Lunar New Year festival, where a mysterious lion dancer hands her a paper heart, and Zing, Val becomes determined to change her destiny, prove St. Valentine's wrong, and give her heart to the right person. Meanwhile, lion dancing is the only thing that has given Jay peace after his dad passed away. It's also what keeps him connected to his father's side of the family. Both Jay and his cousin Leslie notice Val at the Lunar New Year festival, and for some inexplicable reason, Jay hands Val a paper heart. But it's Leslie, with his K-pop good looks, who starts to date Val. Jay still feels the connection with Val and feels it somehow tied to how he feels about losing his father. Both Val and Jay struggle with the spirits who haunt them as they are inextricably brought together in a love story that is satisfying, sweet, and moving. I like sweet things. I'm trying to read more romance. I feel like this is a good way to ease my way into it. The next 3 all come out this upcoming week. January 16th. The first is This Wretched Valley by Jennifer Kiefer. It's a YA horror mystery. The synopsis goes as 4 ambitious climbers hike into the Kentucky wilderness. 7 months later, 3 mangled bodies are discovered. Were their deaths simple accidents or the result of something more sinister? This is going to be Dylan's big break. Her friend Clay, a geology student, has discovered an untouched cliff face of the Kentucky wilderness, and she is going to be the first person to climb it. Together with Clay, his research assistant Sylvia, and Dylan's boyfriend Luke, she's going to document her achievement on Instagram and finally submit her place as the next rising star in rock climbing. 7 months later, 3 bodies are discovered in the trees just off the highway. All are in various states of decay. One body a stark white skeleton, the second emptied of its organs, and the third a mutilated corpse with tongue, eyes, ears, and fingers removed. But Dylan is still missing. Followers of her Instagram account report seeing disturbing live streams, and some even claim to have caught glimpses of her vanishing in the thick woods. But no trace of her, dead or alive, has been discovered. Were the climbers murdered? Did they succumb to cannibalism? Or are their impossible bodies the work of an even more sinister force? Is Dylan still alive, and does she hold the answers? I love a survival horror. I love survival horror. Don't ask me why, I have no explanation, but I love survival horror. So I want to know. I'm really interested in this. Next one is The Night of the Storm by Nishita Parekh. This is a thriller. This is an adult thriller drama, I think you would call it. Hurricane Harvey is about to hit Houston. Meanwhile, single mom Gia Shah is already having a rough week. Her 12-year-old son, Ishan, has just been suspended from school for getting in a fight. Still reeling from the fallout of her divorce, their move to Houston, her family's disapproval, the struggle to make ends meet on her own. Now Gia is worried about Ishan's future too. Will her solo parenting be enough? Doesn't a boy need a father? Now their apartment complex is under mandatory evacuation order. Gia's sister, Seema, has invited them to hunker down in her fancy house in Sugarland, and despite Gia's misgivings, Seema's husband, Vipul, has been just a little too friendly with her lately. Gia concedes it's probably best place to keep Ishan safe during the hurricane. With Gia's philandering ex scrutinizing her every move, all too eager to snatch back custody of Ishan, she can't afford to make a mistake. When Vipul's brother and his wife show up at Seema's doorstep too, it's a recipe for disaster. Grandma, the family matriarch, has never been shy about playing favorites among her sons and their wives. As the storm escalates, tensions rise quickly, and soon someone's dead. Was it a horrible accident, or is there a murder in their midst? With no help available until the floodwaters recede in the morning, Gia must protect her son and identify the culprit before she goes down for a crime she didn't commit or becomes the next victim. This feels like something that's going to have a lot of tension. I do like a mystery, though I don't tend to like thrillers. When it comes to me, I prefer to know the answer ahead of time and then just watch characters figure it out, but I'm trying to expand my horizons. But it does sometimes seem like something that's gonna have a lot of tension to it, so it might be like a summer read for me. I'm trying to see what time of year, because I'm a very big mood reader, so I'm trying to figure out what time of year or like when I would be in the mood for this, but it does sound good. You know what I'm saying? Next one is The Tusks of Extinction by Ray Naylor. This is a science fiction novella, also called an eco-thriller. Moscow has resurrected the mammoth, but someone must teach them how to be mammoths or they are doomed to die out again. The late Dr. Damira Kismatulina, Kismatulina, the world's foremost expert in elephant behavior, is called in to help. While she was murdered a year ago, her digitized consciousness is uploaded into the brain of a mammoth. Can she help the magnificent creatures fend off poachers long enough for their species to take hold? Will she ever discover the real reason they were brought back? Real question is, listen, why are we bringing back extinct species? Did Jurassic Park teach you nothing? But I still want to read it, and it's a novella, so I'm even more excited. I do enjoy a quick and dirty novella. Sometimes I feel like books go on too long. I just feel like, you know what, if you get your point across and you do it well, you don't need that many pages, even if though I do enjoy a chunker. Anyway, The next two come out January 23rd. This one is The Clinic by Kate Quinn. It's a mystery thriller slash horror. Synopsis is: Meg works for a casino in LA, catching cheaters and popping a few too many pills to cope, following a far different path from her sister Haley, a famous actress. But suddenly reports surface of Haley dying at a remote rehab facility where she had been forced to go to get her addictions under control. There are whispers of suicide, but Meg can't believe it. She decides that the best way to find out what happened to her sister is to check in herself, to investigate what really happened from the inside. Battling her own addictions and figuring out the truth will be much more difficult than she imagined, far away from her friends, family, and anyone who could help her. The synopsis gives me the vibes of, what's that one Leonardo DiCaprio movie? Goes off to the island, there's a twist. Can't remember it, but also The Cure for Happiness is what I think it is called. Cure for Happiness? You know what I mean, okay? I can't remember the names of the movies, but you know. The next one is Fluke, Chance, Chaos, and Why Everything We Do Matters by Brian Klaas. It's a non-fiction, psychology non-fiction. If you could rewind your life to the very beginning and then press play, would everything turn out the same? Or could making an accidental phone call or missing an exit off the highway change not just your life, but history itself? And would you remain blind to the radically different possible world you unknowingly left behind? In Fluke, myth-shattering social scientist Brian Klaas dives deeply into the phenomenon of random chance and the chaos it can sow, taking aim at most people's neat and tidy storybook version of reality. The book's argument is that we willfully ignore bewildering, but for a few strange changes, our lives and our societies could be radically different. Offering an entirely new lens, Fluke explores how our world really works, driven by strange interactions and apparently random events. How did one couple's vacation cause 100,000 people to die? Does our decision to hit the snooze button in the morning radically alter? Will I ever get through a video without the cops driving by? We'll find out. Does our decision to hit the snooze button in the morning radically alter the trajectory of our lives? And has the evolution of humans been inevitable, or are we simply the product of a series of freak accidents? Drawing on social science, chaos theory, history, evolutionary biology, and philosophy, Klaas provides a brilliantly fresh look at why things happen, all while providing mind-bending lessons on how we can live smarter, be happier, and lead more fulfilling lives. I am interested in this book, but I do want to point out, I don't think it's that groundbreaking. People have been talking about, hey, butterfly effect, string theory, and chaos theory for years. Like, we all grew up with that. Again, do you not remember Jurassic Park? I'm just saying, I don't know if it's that unique of a mindset, but it will be interesting to see a modern academics view. I'm not even saying I'm well versed in it. I'm just saying calling it new and mind-breaking is maybe pushing it, you know? We're using some big words here. The next two books come out on the 30th of January. And these are the last two on this list. So the first one is The House of Last Resort by Christopher Golden. This is a horror mystery. It's a paranormal horror mystery. I am actually really excited about this one because I did read his Road of Bones, and even though it started really slow, it was one of my favorite books of 2022. I really, really enjoyed it, and so I have high hopes. Anyway, the synopsis says, across Italy, there are many half-empty towns nearly abandoned by those who migrate to the coast or to the cities. The beautiful crumbling hilltop town of Becchina is among them, but its mayor has taken drastic measures to rebuild, selling abandoned homes to anyone in the world for €1 as long as the buyer promises to live there for at least 5 years. It's a no-brainer for American couple Tommy and Kate Puglisi. Both work remotely, and Becchina is the home of Tommy's grandparents, his closest living relatives. It feels like a romantic adventure, an opportunity the young couple would be crazy not to seize. But from the moment they move in, they both feel a shadow has fallen on them. Tommy's grandmother is furious, even a little frightened, when she realizes which house they've bought. There are rooms in an annex at the back of the house that they didn't know were there. The place makes strange noises at night. Locked doors are suddenly open, and when they go to a family gathering, there's certain people are whispering about them and about their house. And we're back. Sorry, we had to take a quick break for some technical difficulties, meaning that my memory card definitely got too full because I never deleted any of my other footage. So let's finish this off strong. Locked doors are suddenly open, and when they go to a family gathering, there's certain people are whispering about them and about the house, which one neighbor refers to as the house of last resort. Soon they learn that the home was owned for generations by the church, but the real secret and the true dread is unlocked when they finally learn what the priests were doing in this house for all those long years, and how many people died in the strange chapel inside, while down in the catacombs beneath Bakina, something stirs. I'm very excited about this book. I love a haunted house story, though I do question the setup, because you're gonna move closer to your grandparents and not talk to them about the house that you're possibly going to purchase. You're moving there to be closer to them. You're not gonna be like, hey, I'm looking at this house, what do you think? Do you think this is a good place for me to move, or is there somewhere else in the town I should be going to? You're not gonna communicate with the family you're specifically moving to another country to be near. I digress, maybe it's just me. Anyway, the last and final book on my list for January is Hard by Great Forest by Leo Vardiashvili. It is a historical fiction, and it's also coming out on the 30th. My mother stayed so we could go. Having fled conflict in the former Soviet Republic of Georgia as children, Saba and his brother have fought to make peace with the past. In particular, they struggle with the sacrifices of a mother who remained in a war zone so that their father could get them out. Now, years later, the brothers are young adults. Their mother is dead, and their father has been lured back to their beautiful, decaying homeland, only to disappear. Then Saba's older brother, chasing after their missing father, vanishes too. Left alone to figure out what has happened and to find his family, Saba sets off on his own urgent, haunted search across his homeland. Accompanied by new friends and old ghosts, he follows a breadcrumb trail of clues. He must wrestle the present from the past as he crosses into the kind of danger zones, both physical and emotional, that he thought he had left behind. Honestly, sounds like it's probably gonna make me cry, and I'm ready for it. It sounds beautiful. Hopefully it is. Anyway, those are the books that I'm excited that are being published in January. I hope to get a few of my hands on them from the library. We'll see if they stock them, and if not, we'll go ahead and request. Either way, these are coming out. I wonder if you're interested in any of them as well. Let me know, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye.